All right, in this module, we're looking at solving equations by flowchart. And we're looking at situations where we might have something like 3 plus 12z equals 39. And what we're trying to solve is this z, there's going to be some specific number we can put in there for z that's going to make this statement true. So 3 plus 12 times, for example, if I put in there that z equals 1, I would get 3 plus 12 times 1, which is 12, is 15, and that doesn't equal 39, right? So that would be 3 plus 12 times 1. And then my right side would be 39, and this side would be 15 equals 39. Untrue. No good. But there's going to be some specific number here that's going to work out for, and I want to be able to solve what that number is that I can put in there. And this method we're looking at here is solving by flowchart. And basically, what we do is we work out all the things that have happened to z here. As in, if I was to give you a number there, 3 plus 12 times, let's say I just put in a 1, and I asked you, what would you do to solve that? Well, you'd look at this, and using your BODMath, you would go, well, first, step 1 would be to go 12 times 1, and then I would do, step 2 I would now have 12 plus 3. That's how I would solve that. So there would be 2 steps to it. And we're going to look at, when we want to solve this, we can work out the steps that we do to kind of make our number. And then if we want to unpack it to get z by itself, we've got to go back up the other way. So we'll use a flowchart here, and we'll keep z as z. So when I'm solving by flowchart, I need to work out what's happened to z. So I would start with z, start here, always with your variable. Sorry, I'll get rid of this as well. And I'll say, well, the first thing that has happened to z is it's been times by 12, and it goes to 12z. Then 12z is going to have 3 added to it. Plus 3 goes to 12z plus 3. We don't care that this 3 is at the start. We're always thinking about, if that z was a number, what step would I do first? So it doesn't matter which order, like whether this one's here or we swap those numbers around. So I get a statement like this, and then my next step is, well, I'm going to do the opposite of this to 39 to get my answer. Because what I'm going to say is, this part here, 12z plus 3 is equal to 39, right? And then I want to take a step backwards, and then I want to take another step backwards, and I'm going to end up with what z equals. So if I times z by 12, and then I add 3 to it, I end up with this number here, over here, which is 39, and now I need to go back the other way. So first thing that happened here was in this first step, so now if I'm going to the left, I look at what happened here, and it's like you're doing reverse order. So here I have a plus 3, and I need to think, what's the opposite of plus 3? Well, the opposite of plus is minus 3. So I'm going to take 3, and then my next step will be, well, what's the opposite of times 12? And I'm going to divide by 12. So that'll be my step. So let's see what happens here when we do it. If I have 39 minus 3, that will get me to 36. So my new number, I go from here, minus 3 gets me to 36. So that's my new number. After I've done one step, I've unpacked this plus 3. Then my next step is to divide all that by 12, and that will be, sorry, I've probably done this a little bit. Let's shift it over here so we can see this a little bit better, what we're actually doing. So 39 to take 3 equals 36. 36 divided by 12 equals 3. So kind of like I said over here, when I did all these things to it, I ended up with this term here, 12z plus 3, and that equaled 39. And then when I went back the other way, and I did minus 3 divided by 12, I end up with 3, which is what the z equals. So if I put that into my equation, this is the last step to always do. Now I've worked out that z equals 3, because this, I've built my number, and then I've unpacked my number. So let's put it in our equation and see if it works. 3 plus 12 times 3, does that equal 39? We'll check the left hand side here. I do the 12 times 3 first, 36. 3 plus 36 equals 39. And then I join that two parts there. 39 equals 39. It's a true statement. So I can always check that as well.